Thursday night under the lights here in Adelaide, and the wait is finally over. Race 1 of 15, the start of a brand new VVS campaign.
Starting the season on a street circuit is a brutal test. These concrete walls don't care about your championship aspirations. One tiny lockup and you are heading for the recovery truck.
3 sprints tonight, 20 minutes apiece, plus that final lap. It is a frantic format. No time to settle in. You have to be on it from the green light.
You cannot win the title in race 1, but you can certainly lose a lot of momentum. The track evolution over 3 races is going to be a massive factor for these drivers to manage.
32 points for the win, a massive prize at the end of this opening sprint. Let's see who has the composure to take it. Greg Chabot starts this campaign exactly where he wanted, clutching that pole position. Adam Tyus is right there with him, though. They have a clear view of the tarmac, which is a massive luxury at a place like this.
Being on the front row at Adelaide is half the battle. If you are Fovarg or Bodkin on that second row, you are just looking for a clean launch. You do not want to be buried in the pack when things get tight through the first few corners.
We have David and Neil Constable-Barry starting side by side in 11th and 12th. It will be interesting to see if they work together or if that sibling rivalry takes over immediately.
With 32 points on offer for the win, everyone is desperate to get their names at the top of the standings early. The pressure in the middle of this 17-car grid must be immense right now.
The lights go out and the VVS season is underway. Sabo and Tyas are neck and neck as they hurtle toward the first corner.
Tyas has the better line on the inside. Look at that pack behind them, 4 wide into the braking zone.
Lindo is all over the back of Buntakis and makes the move stick. That is 5th place secured for now.
Aggressive from Lindo. He knew he had to get that done before the pack settled, and Buntakis just could not hold him off.
David Constable-Barry is looking for a way through on Walters, and he gets the job done. That is 9th place for him now.
He's really committed there. You can see he's not wasting any time trying to claw back positions after that mid-pack start.
Cormac is tucked right in at the back of this train, just looking for a gap to open up.
In that 16th spot, you are just reacting to the brake lights in front of you. It is a nervous place to be on the opening lap.
Bontakis finds the gap. A great opportunistic move to take 5th place away from Lindo.
Lindo tried to cover the apex, but Bontakis had the better exit. Now he has to defend from Stokes.
Stokes gets the run, though. He is back past Bontakis, reclaiming that 5th spot with real authority.
Oh, and they have hit! Bontakis turned right in on him there. That is a warning for sure.
Walters manages to get the move done on Bontakis for 7th, but he is under immediate pressure.
He has been punted. Bontakis sends him spinning. Snape and Constable-Barry are through as Walters hits the barrier.
Fovarg is dropping like a stone and he is into the fence. Bodkin, Zabo, and Stokes all make it through.
That is a disaster for him. He is a passenger. While the pack just sails past, he has plummeted down to 9th.
Snape has hit the wall. Bontakis was already through, but now Constable-Barry is past him as well.
That looked like a nasty snap of oversteer. He is just a sitting duck now as Fovarg climbs ahead into 9th.
Tyus has hit the barrier. The leader is wide and Bodkin takes the lead with Stokes following him through.
He just overcooked it on the entry and paid the price. Neil Constable-Barry and Zabo are both past him now as he tries to get it pointed straight.
Bontakis and David Constable-Barry are through as well, and now Fovarg moves up. He has gone from the lead to 8th in 1 sector. Jabo and Neil are trading blows, but they have come together. Neil is into the barriers and the pack is swarming past him.
He is helpless there. His brother David, Tyus, even Kosick and Snape are through. That is a podium charge gone in an instant.
Kosick and Zabo are trading paint. Kosick gets the move done, but Sabo bites right back to the next complex.
Kosick isn't finished. He dives back down the inside to reclaim 6th. This is proper wheel-to-wheel racing.
Nadine finds a gap and slides past Zabo, dropping the pole sitter down to 11th.
He is in the wall. Chabot hits the barriers and his race just continues to go from bad to worse.
Tyus is on the recovery hunt. He slides past Vaughn for 11th as they head into the braking zone.
Vaughn's lost it. He's hard into the barriers. When the tires start to go, these walls just jump out at you.
Kusick has gone wide and clattered the barrier. That was a massive impact on the exit.
You could see the rear stepping out before he even reached the apex. That car took a heavy hit on the side.
Hallam and David Constable-Berry have come together. That is heavy contact between those two.
They were fighting for the same piece of real estate. Once you are interlocked like that on a narrow track, there is nowhere else to go.
Phil Bodkin crosses the line to take the first win of the season. He stayed calm while everyone else lost their heads.
Exactly. He waited for those mistakes and pounced. That is how you manage a championship run right from the start.
John Bounticus brings it home in second. He started sixth and clawed his way through a very messy race to get on that podium.
He certainly earned those 29 points. It wasn't always pretty, and he'll likely be visiting the stewards later, but the pace was undeniable.
Dominic Fovarg secures the final step on the podium. After dropping way down the order earlier, he has fought his way back to where he started.
That was a resilient drive. Recovering from that contact to salvage 27 points shows exactly why he is a title contender.
What a frantic start to the season. Phil Bodkin kept his nose clean while absolute chaos broke out behind him to take the first win of the year.
I have rarely seen so many frontrunners find the concrete in a single sprint. Tyus and Sabo had the speed, but Adelaide just bit them back today.
Ventakis and Fovarg salvaged massive points after a chaotic 20 minutes. But with 2 more races tonight, the drama is only beginning. Phil Bodkin sits pretty at the top of the table after that first sprint. 33 points and a win to his name. Exactly the start he was looking for.
He really capitalized on the chaos. Look at Daniel Kosic in third, too. He was consistent while others were finding the walls. But for guys like Tyus and Szabo, being 9th and 10th in the standings is a tough pill to swallow after their pace in qualifying.
Fovarg in second shows just how much resilience matters in VVS. He was buried at one point, but fought back for those 29 points to stay right in the hunt. This is the flip of the script we were waiting for. Neil Constable-Berry and Nico Vaughn lead us away on the front row, while our Race 1 winner Phil Bodkin is buried back in 13th.
It is a completely different mental game now. For Neil and Nico, it is about keeping it clean while the Sharks move in. For Bodkin and Fovarg, they have to carve through 16 other cars on a track where overtaking is notoriously difficult.
Adam Tyus and Greg Sebo are in a prime position in 3rd and 4th. They had the pace earlier, but not the luck. This is their chance to jump back up that championship table. After those opening race frustrations,
when I was racing, reverse grids were always a headache. You have got the fastest drivers taking the most risks to get forward, and that usually leads to carbon fiber flying everywhere. Fovarg and Kosic have that 30-kilo class ballast to deal with too, making those overtakes even harder.
The lights go out and we're racing again in Adelaide. Neil Constable-Berry gets a solid launch, but Nico Vaughn is right on his gearbox.
Adam Tyus is already looking to make it 3 wide. On cold tires and a narrow track, this is where the nerves really get tested.
Hallam is on the move already. He dives down the inside of Nadine and claims 5th place.
Clinical move. He knew he had to get that done early before the rhythm of the race settled down.
Stokes is slicing through the field from the back. He's just put a move on Cormac for 14th.
He has no choice but to be aggressive. He started 15 spots back. Every second spent behind a slower car is a second loss to the leaders.
Bodkin is biding his time in 13th, looking for the gaps to open up in front of him.
He's a smart driver. He knows he can't win it on lap 1, but he can certainly end his night if he forces a move that isn't there.
Big collision at the front. Vaughn and Szabo have come together, and that has caused a massive chain reaction.
Tyus is caught up in the mess as well. Szabo looked like he was squeezed with absolutely nowhere to go. There is carbon fiber everywhere.
The yellow flags are waving, and the safety car has been deployed. That has completely neutralized the race.
I have been in that exact spot. One mistake at the head of the pack, and it just snowballs. This is going to be a long recovery for those 3.
The safety car is out on track, and that is going to bunch everyone right back up. A massive lifeline for the drivers at the back.
This changes the strategy completely. Drivers like Bodkin and Fovarg just had the gap to the leaders erased without having to make a single overtake.
The lights are off on the safety car. We are about to go green again. Neil Constable Barry has the field in his mirrors.
He needs to time this restart perfectly. If he goes too early or too late, Tyus and the rest of the pack will be all over him before the first turn.
We are back to green. Ben Nadine is right on the gearbox of the leaders, looking to pounce as they sprint away.
He has a massive opportunity here. With those big names caught in the earlier mess, Nadine just needs to stay focused and hit his marks.
Tyus takes the lead, but Neil Constable Barry isn't having it. He dives back through immediately.
They are trading the lead back and forth into every corner. Tyus gets him again, but Neil lunges back to the front. This is incredible.
Kosick makes a bold move past Nadine and Neil, but they've all tangled. He's heavy into the wall.
Total carnage through that complex. Kosick was trying to take two at once, but he's ended up in the barriers while Snape slips past.
Lindo and Stokes both find a way past the struggling Kosick, moving up the order.
Stokes is right on Lindo's tail now. He's looking for any opportunity to gain another spot.
Oh, Stokes has forced it. He tried to squeeze into a gap that just wasn't there, and they've collided.
The stewards are straight on it. That's a penalty for Stokes for that move. He's gained the position, but he'll pay for it.
Sabo finds a way past Lindo to break into the top 10, but Lindo isn't letting him away.
Great response from Lindo. He stays right with him and puts the car back into ninth. They are really duking it out.
David Constable Barry takes the lead. He's picked his moment perfectly to move past Tyus.
That was a well-timed move. Tyus didn't have an answer for that straight line speed.
Snape has been sent spinning. Fovarg punts him, and the stewards have already slapped him with a penalty.
It's a total mess as they rejoin. Bountikis and Stokes take advantage of the chaos while Snape tries to get his race back on track.
Bountikis turns in on Fovarg and sends him straight into the wall. That's a warning for Bountikis, but a disaster for Dominant.
He's stuck against the barriers while the positions just slip away. Stokes is the next one to cruise past as Fovarg struggles to get moving again.
Stokes and Bountakis are in a proper dogfight, swapping that fourth spot back and forth through every turn.
They are slowing each other down so much that Fovarg has caught right up and snatched fifth away from Bountikis.
Fovarg gets the job done and moves into fourth, leaving Stokes to defend from a charging Rich Snape.
They have hit! Snape and Stokes make contact in the braking zone, but Snape keeps it together to take fifth away.
Adam Tyus holds on. He takes the win here in Adelaide, with Jareth Hallam breathing down his neck.
Hallam threw everything at him in that final sector. Tyus had to be millimeter perfect to keep that lead.
A massive result for Tyus after the frustration of race one. He needed this win to reset his season. Nigel Walters rounds out the podium. A brilliant climb from 8th on the grid to finish 3rd.
He just kept his head down and stayed out of the trouble that seemed to swallow everyone else. That is how you maximize a reverse grid race.
Adam Tyus turns his night around completely. To go from a heavy shunt and a safety car period all the way to the top step is a testament to his pace.
That reverse grid delivered exactly the chaos we expected. We saw constant lead changes between Tyus and Neil Constable Barry, and so much carbon fiber flying in the mid-pack.
Jareth Hallam and Nigel Walters were the big winners in terms of positioning, staying out of the steward's room and onto the podium.
The championship is wide open now. These drivers are exhausted, but we still have one more sprint to go under the lights.
Dominic Fovarg takes over the championship lead, but it is incredibly tight at the top. Rich Snape is just 3 points back after some very consistent running tonight.
Look at the climb from Nigel Walters and Jareth Hallam too. They are tied for 3rd. And Adam Tyus is right back in the conversation after that victory, jumping from 10th up to 5th.
It has been a tough turnaround for our Race 1 winner, Phil Bodkin. He has slipped from 1st down to 8th in the standings.
That is the brutal nature of this format. One bad race, and you are suddenly looking up at the leaders, wondering where all your momentum went.
Rich Snape has put himself in the pound seat for this final race of the night. Starting from pole while sitting 2nd in the championship, this is a golden opportunity to take the lead.
He has been the model of consistency so far, but he has got Phil Bodkin staring him down on the front row. Phil has had a win and a struggle tonight, so he is going to be aggressive to claw back those points.
Our points leader, Dominic Fovarg, is starting back in 7th. He has got a lot of traffic between him and the lead, including a very fast Adam Tyus in 5th, who is coming off that race to win.
Fovarg is carrying that extra class ballast too, which is going to make these concrete canyons feel even narrower under braking. If I am Snape, I am just focusing on a clean launch and trying to break the toe early.
It is the last sprint of the event. 17 drivers, 20 minutes of pure adrenaline under the lights here in Adelaide. The lights go out for the final time tonight, and Rich Snape gets a textbook launch from pole position.
Bodkin's trying to hang it out on the outside, but look at Tyus from 5th. He's absolutely flown off the line, and he's looking for a gap.
Vaughn makes a bold move on Szabo into the complex. That's 13th place for him.
Szabo's had a nightmare keeping in contact. He just looked a bit tentative there, and Vaughn took full advantage.
The championship leader Fovarg is sliding back. Buntakis and the Constable Berry brothers have all muscled past him.
And Neil didn't stop there. He's just put a move on his brother David as well. No team orders in that family, that's for sure.
Buntakis is on a mission after that frantic start. He's currently sitting in 9th and looking forward.
He's a momentum driver. If he can get a few clean laps under his belt, he'll be right back in the podium hunt.
Stokes sends it down the inside of Bodkin. He snatched 2nd place with a really gutsy move into the braking zone.
Wait, Bodkin is fighting back. He gets the better exit and draws alongside, reclaiming 2nd before the next corner.
Kosick and Walters have tangled. Kosick didn't hold the brakes and clattered right back into Walters before hitting the wall.
That's an immediate penalty for Kosick. He's trying to get it pointed straight, but Buntakis and both Constable Berries have already steamed past him.
Kosick is on a recovery trail now. He's just managed to squeeze back past David Constable Berry for 9th.
He's got that penalty hanging over him, but he's not letting it slow him down. He's driving like a man possessed to make up the gap.
Kosick's progress has stalled. Then Nadine finds a way through and takes that 9th spot away from him.
You can see the car looks a bit nervous through the fast stuff. Maybe there was more damage from that earlier wall tap than we thought.
Walters has spun, and that is a terrible rejoin. He has accelerated straight into Neil Constable Berry's path.
He's into the wall. That was a massive error of judgment, and the stewards have already slapped him with a penalty. He's dropping down the order fast.
Tyus and Kosick are through as well, while Walters tries to find reverse. He's gone from a top 6 battle down to 10th in seconds. Bodkin's hit the wall. He was pushing so hard to stay with the leaders, and he's just asked too much of the car.
This track is unforgiving. One moment you're fighting for a podium, the next you're looking for steering damage.
Vaughn makes the move on Cormac. That's another position gain for him as he tries to climb into the points.
Cormac didn't seem to have much of a defense there. He might be struggling with rear tire wear at this stage of the race.
David Constable Berry is into the wall twice in 1 lap. He's bouncing off the concrete like a pinball out there.
Naden slips past him while he's struggling, but David manages to gather it up and muscle his way back into 6th. Pure desperation for him now.
Tyus has clipped the barrier. He's been flying all night, but that might have just cost him some vital momentum.
It looked like a heavy impact on the right-hand side. He's stayed on track, but he'll be checking if the steering is still straight.
Kosick and Vaughn are rubbing paint, and Vaughn is into the fence. It's getting very agricultural out there in the final stages.
He gets back past Kosick, but hits the wall again immediately. Absolute chaos. Kosick takes 9th place back as Vaughn just tries to keep it on the black stuff.
Kosick moves past Vaughn for 10th, but they have collided again. These two just cannot stay away from each other.
It is getting personal out there. They are both frustrated, and it is showing in the driving. Neither one is giving an inch.
Rich Snape crosses the line to take a brilliant victory from pole position. He led from the front and never looked back.
It was closer than it looked. Chris Stokes was hounding him the entire way. And Phil Bodkin was right there in the mix too. That is a high-quality podium.
Snape needed a perfect race to maximize his championship charge tonight. and he delivered under the most intense pressure.
When you have Stokes and Bodkin in your mirrors at Adelaide, you cannot afford a single mistake. He was clinical.
A masterful performance from Rich Snape to close out the evening. He kept it clean while the championship battle raged behind him.
The Constable Barry brothers and Daniel Kosick were involved in so much drama tonight. We saw penalties, multiple wall strikes, and some very aggressive repasses.
It's been a night of high attrition and even higher stakes. Dominic Fovarg's lead at the top is under serious threat now after a difficult final sprint.
These drivers have given everything tonight. 15 races in a season is a marathon, but this first triple header has felt like a flat-out sprint from start to finish.
81 points for Rich Snape at the end of the night. He walks away from Adelaide as our championship leader after that clinical final victory.
He really was the most composed driver across all 3 sprints. Look at Jareth Hallam in second, too. No wins yet, but he stayed out of the steward's room and kept bagging heavy points. That is how you win a title.
It was a sliding doors kind of night for Dominic Fovarg. He looked in control midway through, but ends the evening down in 7th after those late race incidents.
That is the street circuit tax. 1 minute you are the man to beat, the next you are nursing a bent steering rack. Even with that win in race 2, Adam Tyus is only 5th. It just shows how much every single lap matters.
12 races still to go in this campaign. If this opening event was a sign of things to come, we are in for a classic season. We will see you at the next one.